Hello, thank you so much for tuning into this video. In this video, I'll be giving a product demo and explaining exactly what we have right now and how we're using this to speed up our operations. So basically, this is our landing page. And on our landing page, I'm not going to put too much attention over here, but focus on one thing specifically, which is our 3 different learning journeys, right? Training programs that we have right now. So we have one 12 months full time, and this is at this point in time, which is September 22nd, 2020. And basically, right now we're running three groups with this 12-month full time program, which is where we take a developer from absolute scratch to becoming a software engineer. And then we have this 3-month part time web development program where we start from. It's also very beginner friendly, but then we only get them up to speed with web development, but they're not prepared enough yet. In web development plus is where they get a whole lot more practical experience by building their own business and actually getting a guaranteed internship placement. So here is very concepts focused, whereas here is much more practical experience focused. And right now we have this program that's going on, and all these different timelines and programs are available on our landing page, and all the prices and all the details are available here. But what I want to get into exactly is our application portal, which we use to identify who our candidates are. And we use this to scrutinize all our applicants and find the right people to take into our different training programs. So, a student can come over here and then they can log in. And once they log in, you can see that there's 4 different steps that they have to go through. So they have to go through the program details. So they have to select their program. Over here, we'll have all our different training programs that we run. Currently, we're running these 2 training programs. These are the 2 training programs we're taking applications for, basically, I'm just going to go through a demo of exactly what a student goes through this process. So there's web development, for example. You select web development, the student can see the prerequisites, they can see the duration of the program, and then they can agree. They have to agree with the computer requirements, so there's specific computer requirements that need to be met in order to go forward. So they select the program. It takes about 2 minutes to do that. And then they go into the interview position, the interview part of the application. And in the interview part of the application, there are 3 options to tackle this section. So the first thing is they can answer these questions using text, right? And these questions really help us understand exactly what kind of candidates we're dealing with over here, right? Because it's very, context-based, and how they answer the questions gives us a good indication of whether they would be a good fit for our program. So there's the writing and application part, and then there's a submit video. So they could alternatively take a video recording where they're answering all these questions, showing us their body language, and just giving us a sense of the kind of people they are. So they can answer these questions. Option 2. Alternatively, they can jump on a Zoom call with us, right? So basically, a student has these 3 options, and an interview would take about 30 minutes. To answer all these questions would take about 30 minutes as well. And it really gives us a good understanding of the kind of people that we're dealing with, So here you would select, exactly what time zones would work for you and all that sort of information. So what I'll do is I'm just going to say, for example, yeah, I'm available on Monday 17th, right? I'm going to submit. Cool. So now once I've submitted, it takes me to the next step. And in the next step, now I just have to enter a few details with regards to my university, my expected degree, and all this information. So specifically, what I'll do now is I'm going to say I have not attended any university. So we do take in applications of people who have not attended university, but for them, we specifically look at exactly their past experience. How exactly would it be a good fit for our program, regardless of not going to university? Because what university equips with students is basically how they think, how they solve problems. If they got into a university, they already went through the university scrutiny process. So that's why we collect those details. So what I'll do is I'm just going to add some random details over here. Okay. Yeah, 97. Just, yeah, I think that's all right. And then time zone, I'm actually in GMT3. So I'm gonna put GMT3. And then students can enter a referral. So they can enter a referral code over here. And this is an example of what a referral code would look like. And then they can continue the application. So um, once they continue the application, the next part is actually funding, right? So as you can see over here, you are only seeing the prices in dollars, right? But then this is very region based. So if you're sitting in South Africa, you're going to see rand over here. If you're outside of South Africa, you're going to see dollars. If you're in Europe, you're going to see pounds. And if you're in Canada, you're going to see Canadian dollars, right? So these are basically the options that the students have, so they can select what their preferred payment would be. If a South African applies, they actually see a third option, which is called the income share agreement option. And with the income share agreement, there's an additional application process as well. But then it's just Google Forms, right? So they'll just receive an email once they've completed this process, and it's just a few Google Forms that they have to go through. So they have to give us a few more details on their demographics. They have to do an aptitude test, and they have to also give us a video motivation as to why we should select them for the ISA program. And they have to answer very specific questions. So those are 3 additional steps, and we just use Google Forms for that because we felt that we already had a Google Form set up. We were already working with the system with that, and we felt that was really efficient for us. So we just didn't add that into product. There's one thing I want to point out here. Students can apply for financial aid, and they can get up to 30% of their tuition covered with financial aid. So over here, they have to state a few details, and once they've completed these details, they can proceed, right? So I'm just going to unselect that for now. I'm going to say that I will pay, and I'm going to submit the application, and that is it. That is the end of the application. And then the rest is on our side. We actually have an admin portal to deal with, how the applications come in, and then we can also see, if we need to schedule a call with someone. All that happens in our admin dashboard. But this is how we're using the product right now. It's just purely to get a whole bunch of applications in, see who is a good fit for our programs, and then select them accordingly. So how we select them and everything is manual right now. Following up with them, because we only select a specific set of students for our training programs. And currently we want to just do it manually. I think once we reach a certain stage, we'll be able to automate that as well. So that brings us to the end of the product demo. And if you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us via any of our emails, info@zaio.io, or you can reach out to me personally, akil@zaio.io. So that is AKHIL, akil@zaio.io, right? So thank you so much, and cheers.